Hello and welcome back to the brightly lit table of reviewing justice. Now, we've taken a look at several products from a company called Philips before. In fact, we have one of them here, the SHP3000. So this is a pair of in-ear earbuds with the silicone tips, and you can find a review to that on screen. And we also have this right here, which I have actually sort of mangled already. This is the SHE1360, and well, both of these earbuds share something in common, and that is the fact that they are extremely cheap, and yet they deliver sound that is at pretty good quality, especially given their price. And of course, their respective prices are shown on screen right now. You can see that these aren't expensive earphones. So well, as you can see, this has broken. I've tried my best to fix it, but unfortunately, well, I didn't quite succeed, which is why I thought maybe it's time for an upgrade. Now here's the deal. Sure, I've got this pair, but there are some issues with using this pair at home, especially in the long term. Now for one, these silicone tips sit really snugly in the ear, and that's good for when you're outdoors, but when you're at home, it sort of feels weird because it feels like you're immersed in some sort of vacuum. When you speak, your own voice sounds terrible. And also, it's sort of uncomfortable because it creates this suction inside your ear. So yeah, I don't like wearing these at home. And one additional complaint I have is that it sort of overemphasizes bass a little bit. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll shell out just a little bit more money, and to get a product from the same brand. And well, I ended up with something that looks like this. So this is the box. It's not going to fit in the shot, so I'm just going to scroll it nicely here. This is the Philips SHP3000. It is a pair of headphones, and it's actually really cheap. So once again, I'll put the price on screen. Now I do have to mention that apparently this is a sale price, and the original price is slightly more. I'll do some further research on the prices online, and we'll see how true that is. But yeah, it's headphones in a large box. The box itself actually contains nothing at all except the headphones and this little adapter here. Now basically what this is, if we take it out of the packaging, it accepts a 3.5mm jack at the back, and it adapts to this, which I believe is a 1/4 inch jack. So yeah, if you ever need to use this, for some kind of higher end device that has a connector that looks like this, you can. And because this is an adapter, really, you can actually use this for any device that has the 3.5mm jack. So this is very nice. I guess this is something that is, maybe useful one day. And what that means is I'm just going to keep this in a cupboard for 10 years until it corrodes, and then I'll throw it away. But we all know what you're here for, and that is the actual headphones themselves. So let's go ahead and introduce them to the shot. Here they are. So at a glance, it's basically, your general run-of-the-mill type of headphones, nothing too special. As you can see, these are nice, soft cushions. These are 40mm speakers driven by neodymium magnets. So yeah, your ear sits nice and comfortably on the inside. This is nice and springy, but not too much, because of course you don't want too much tension pressing down on your head. There's also a cushion pad at the top, so it's nice and comfortable. It won't press anywhere on your head and create some pain points. And of course, these sides here are adjustable. So, well, there are a certain number of clicks. So yeah, you can adjust this to your liking, and I've had no problems basically setting this to a size that works for me. There's a very nice 3-meter cord. It's extremely long, so I've not even taken off the cable tie that holds it together. And yeah, it ends, of course, in a 3.5mm jack, as you would expect. One of the big selling points about this is the fact that it's actually designed for long wearing comfort. And well, this is one of the main reasons why I bought this, because of course I'm gonna have this on for, pretty extended periods. And I wanted to make sure that, this is not something that you could only wear for short spells at a time before, getting some kind of pains or it gets too hot. I hope none of that actually happens. And as it turns out, indeed, this delivers. It is extremely comfortable, the cushions are very nice and soft, and basically they don't feel hot at all. Obviously they do get a little warm, and you'll know when you actually remove this after wearing it for, an hour or so. But while it's on, it basically feels really nice, you barely feel it's there, and the sound it delivers of course is great. But we'll talk about the sound quality later on. The cable itself is nice and thick, so you don't have to worry about, accidentally snapping it or anything along those lines. So yeah, there isn't a whole lot more to say about the actual build of this device. Of course, most of it is plastic. In fact, now that I think about it, all of it is plastic apart from the electronics. But well, for something at this price range, it's not exactly something you can complain about. So let's move on to actually talk about the sound quality itself. The sound quality of this is extremely good. In fact, I would say it's quite near to perfect. It has enough bass, as in you can hear the bass clearly, but it doesn't overemphasize the bass, which I think is extremely important. As for the rest of the range, the mids and the highs, well, they're all present. Sometimes I do feel that the highs are a little bit exaggerated, but apart from that, I really have no complaints whatsoever about the sound quality. One thing I did realize using this is that sound leak is a possible problem if you're in a very quiet room and you actually, just turn this up to a normal level of listening. If you listen carefully around someone who's wearing this, you may be able to hear a little bit of sound leakage. So that is one thing you have to look out for, especially if you intend to use this, in a place like a library or somewhere that's equally quiet. Generally, in a room with sufficient ambient noise, this would not be too much of an issue. Also, of course, if you don't really crank up the volume, you would of course not expect this to have very significant sound leak. Audio isolation is good, but not overbearing. They don't block out sound to an uncomfortable level like the silicone tipped ones do, and you can hold a conversation with these on. So there you go. Once again, Philips does not disappoint. This is an extremely good set of headphones, especially for its price. So yeah, no complaints here. I will definitely be using this for editing, for, all the so-called important stuff that I do. I'll be wearing this at home for extended periods. And based on my experience so far, it should be pretty enjoyable. It should, be worth every cent and more. So there you have it. This is the full review of the Philips SHP3000. It's a good pair of headphones. If you're looking for something cheap, I would definitely recommend this. And well, basically if you're looking for any form of audio equipment on a budget, well, Philips is a brand to go. I'm not paid by them to make this review. Now that I think about it, I should probably go knock on their door. But yeah, that's all there is for this particular review. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in a playlist of my previous reviews. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.